What's up, everyone? Thanks so much for joining me on another episode of Woke as Fuck. I've got an awesome guest for you all today, my good friend Jake Reese. Jake, you there?
Hello, hello.
What up, brother? Whoa, I'm just realizing this is your debut, brother. Getting
I
out there.
know.
I love that. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to our listeners? We all know who you are, where you come from, what you're about.
All right. Well, my name is Jake Reese, as he just said. I am from Mesa, Arizona. I spent most of the golden days of my childhood in Granite Bay, California. I am on track to become a spiritual enlightenment coach and teacher. That's pretty much what I'm about. I like deepening into the one infinite creator and helps streamline my spiritual growth. And I want to help people have the same experience and change their lives in that way.
I love that, man. Beautiful. Thanks for sharing. And
Mhm.
just out of curiosity, I think we talked about this before, but it's kind of a blank for me right now. When did you start getting into spirituality and enlightenment and stuff like that?
Well, spirituality. So I've had some memories from when I was a little kid that I wasn't really able to make sense of until fairly recently. Those aren't necessarily the reasons why I got into spirituality, but I remember creating my life where I live today. I remember creating the roads. I remember I had a special place in my head when I was a little kid. That's how I understood it. And yeah, and that special place in my head turned out to be this presence awareness field that I've become aware of as of late. And yeah, and so I started really getting into spirituality when I started looking up cheat codes to life. My nana was dying, and I really felt in my heart that there was something more to life. And so I started with the internet and I was searching cheat codes to life, and then I found the law of attraction. And so I read up how to apply it, and so I did, and I felt like it really didn't work because I was brand new to it. And then I tried it and gave up, and then it appeared in my life again when I started searching for it again. And I searched for it again, Cheat Codes to Life, and then my sister, she told me about The Secret, the movie The Secret, and that's the Law of Attraction movie with like Abraham Hicks and a whole bunch of other quantum physicists and spiritual leaders and gurus on there. And so I watched that, and I got really into it and started manifesting things with my sister. We would manifest cupcakes. We would manifest cake pops from Starbucks. We would manifest all these little things. And as I grew up, as I grew up, I started going to high school. And so that pretty much, like, all the pressures from high school took over. And I was just like kind of forgot about the law of attraction and everything because I had more important things to worry about, like self-image and people. How do I make people like me, and how do I fit in, and all that
High
stuff.
school stuff.
And so yeah, and then after high school, I kind of fell into like a really deep existential crisis. Um, I was looking up everything about quantum physics. I'd binge watch those videos all day, every day. That's pretty much all I did for a time. And I enrolled myself in this philosophy class at, what was it, CGCC, Chandler Gilbert Community. And that's when I kind of went a little cuckoo. And then from that point on, I was just, trying to find some ground. And so I would like look up all these different spiritual teachers. Abraham Hicks was a really good one, helped relax me. And then, different teachers I would look up. I started getting more and more specific, like, okay, what is it I'm trying to learn about? And eventually I was just like, okay, what am I? What am I, like, structurally? Like, I want to experience it. Like, what is this? Like, what is my experience? Where is my experience? Where does it come from? what's the nature of it, and that kind of stuff. And so then I started practicing a little bit, and going through the friction of applying my new understandings in relationships and in my work life. And um, probably I would say about a couple years ago is when I really started kind of getting serious.
Mm.
And so I would get serious for a point, and then more important things again, just like in high school. And I get serious again, and then got into a relationship, and then, and my mind was pretty clouded at that point because just all the pressure of like wanting to be, compassionate and loving and all these things that I'm supposed to be if I'm enlightened, right?
Mm.
And so, yeah, and then after that phase, I got way more devoted to my practice. Started really listening to people when they talk to me.
That's a big one.
And yeah, been deepening and deepening, and now we're here.
Awesome, brother. Thanks for sharing that. I mean,
Hmm.
you said a couple things that I can totally relate to. I mean, as I was a child, I had a lot of interesting spiritual experiences that I really couldn't make sense of. And it was really funny that you said what you said, because I was having a conversation with my friend yesterday, and she was talking about how her daughter came home from school one day and just said that, yeah, sometimes at recess I just go and sit alone and sit under a tree and imagine myself as a leaf and just like being a leaf floating in the wind and just like going home as that leaf. And I'm like, so your daughter is like sitting around meditating, astral traveling during recess? That's freaking amazing. And she's like,
Oh,
yeah, but she just has no idea what she's doing. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's crazy. But I feel like, as kids, we're so opened up and it's like we do know what we're doing. But as we
yeah.
grow up and we have all those pressures like you were talking about, um,
Hmm.
yeah, we can kind of stuff it away. And I mean, I can totally relate to that beginning of the spiritual awakening process of just like overwhelming myself with information and just like dumping like tons and tons of knowledge on myself to the point where it made me antisocial. So that's amazing that you went through that too. And I'm sure
Yeah.
people listening to that can probably relate to that at some level. So yeah, thank you for sharing that and being vulnerable. And thank you for being here. Actually, I didn't even get a chance to say that, I don't think. But yeah, thanks for
Yeah.
being vulnerable to share your healing process and your story with us all. And I'm excited to get into this live coaching portion. And I'm sure you are too. But so
Mhm.
why don't you go ahead
Very.
and explain some of like the challenges that we were talking about a little bit before this call, just um, for our listeners, so we can hear it from you, and we can go ahead and get started.
Okay, so as I said, I've been deepening my practice, and I've been seeing results too, which has been very exciting, and it's made me even more eager to practice some more.
Mm.
And so I've been practicing and deepening and practicing and deepening, and my focus has become like, okay, I've got to get to that point, like that sweet spot, like I got to get to like the destination,
Mhm.
like there's a thought in my head, like, okay, I'm here. I'm so close, but I'm not quite there yet. Like I'm so close, but I'm not quite there yet. And
Yeah.
it's been like this thing where I'm so eager, and just like the idea that there is like a destination for me to get to has made me, want to practice more. And I like that idea because that's the vibe that I've been on. But at the same
Yeah.
time, I feel like it's gotten me, like you said, the word you used earlier, a little angsty. What was that word
And
you used?
and see.
An- Antsy. That's a good word, antsy. I've been feeling like more antsy and, a little bit unbalanced, just trying so hard to get into
Mm.
the right balance.
Yeah, I love that. Just to kind of reflect what you said, it's like I feel like a lot of people, I mean, if not anyone, everyone listening to this can relate to this. We start seeing results and we see like this grand vision of our future in view, but it's like we get exactly what you said. Like we get all antsy, we get kind of discouraged because we're not seeing those results of what we want to manifest, and it's so frustrating. I mean, even for myself, it's like you have all these manifestation capabilities, so why is it not happening when I snap my fingers? Why is it not happening as I believe it's happened? And the funny thing about that is like I believe that every part of our life, we're going to be having some kind of desire to be where we're not, right? That's the nature of the human experience. We have this
Mhm.
goal, and then as soon as we reach it, it's like, oh, now I want something else. So it's kind of like, it's like you're going through that, yes, and a lot of people are going through that too. So I'm excited to explore this with you. Um, I'm hearing you saying you want to get to that sweet spot, that destination, and you're really feeling unbalanced. At the same time, you're feeling eager, but you're also feeling like you're trying too hard. So thank you for putting that into such descriptive words and really painting that picture of where we're going to go with this. So I'd invite
Mhm.
you to just take a couple moments to find a comfortable position. And I apologize ahead of time if you hear any traffic. I'm literally pulled up on the side of the road, and my favorite part about this work is like I can just do it from anywhere. So I apologize if there's noise in the background. Um, and go ahead and close your eyes. Find
Okay.
a comfortable position where I can hear you, and just go ahead and take a couple deep breaths. I'm feeling the need to get in touch with this part of yourself that feels unbalanced. It feels like it's trying too hard, feeling, um, yeah, those feelings of antsiness. I'd like you to go inside now and ask this part of yourself, either out loud or in your mind, if this part of yourself, this unconscious part of yourself, would like to communicate with you. And you can give me a yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. And I really like you to encourage you to thank this part of yourself from this point forward. I may remind you and I may not, but every time you get a response, just to cultivate that energy and to show gratitude for this part of yourself that is trying to change and has desperately been working for you through this time. So just showing it encouragement as well as your self encouragement for being willing to do this good work today. So let's go ahead and open up some dialogue with this part of yourself. And I'd like to first have you ask this part of yourself, what are your beliefs? What are your dysfunctional beliefs that are holding me back? Just say whatever pops into your head.
That I'm not good enough.
Mm.
That I
Anything
can't
else?
figure it out.
Mm.
It's easier to just give up.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need to move forward into anything else.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Nope, not right now.
Okay. Go ahead and think that part of yourself. And I'd like you to ask this part of yourself, why were you created? What is your core function?
To protect me.
Mm. Anything else?
Nope.
Yeah, thank you. Thank this part of yourself. So, with your conscious mind, Jacob, seeing and hearing and feeling these beliefs of I'm not good enough, I can't figure it out, it's easier to give up, there's no need to move forward, how would you like to change these beliefs by the end of this session? What beliefs would you like to take on?
Um, the belief that I would like to take on as integrate it as a part of me, or like challenge.
So, for example, not to put words in your mouth, of course. So let's say we're trying to look at the opposite of that feeling of I'm not good enough. So what's a belief that's empowering that you would like to have this part hold on to and function out of moving forward from today? So instead of taking this job of protection that it's been trying so hard to do for a number of years, giving it a new role and giving it new beliefs to live by so it can support you in your growth and your journey. So how would you kind of flip the script, so to speak, to change these negative, dysfunctional beliefs into more empowering beliefs? So, for example, you could say something like, I am good enough, but it really has to come from you. So,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I am good enough.
mhm.
Um, that I don't need to figure it out.
Mm.
And I can explore anywhere that I please.
Mm-hmm. I love that. So I'd like you to go inside and ask this part of yourself, where were you first created? It may show you a visual, you might feel it in your body, you might hear a story. Just go back to the first instant of these beliefs being formed. If I'm not good enough, I can't figure it out, it's easy to give up, there's no point to move forward. Where were these beliefs established?
Oh my gosh. When I was in kindergarten, the first day of kindergarten, the very first day, I saw these kids and they were, oh my gosh. So I saw these kids and they were like, they got up on the slide. They were like running up the slide and on the playground and they were grabbing on, like they were like falling off the cliff. And so what I did was I went over to the slide. I didn't climb up the slide. I went up the stairs to the top of the slide. And then I got down in the slide and held on just like they were, except I didn't run up like the same path that they did. I went up the stairs. And then the teacher, she called all three of us and then started pretty much telling us like that we had a red card. I didn't know what a red card was. And I found
Not
out
the
that that was
red card.
the worst card to have. It just like meant that you were, misbehaving badly, and behaving badly. I didn't run up the slide like they did, but how I was caught made
Mm,
her made them think, made the teacher think that way, and that's funny because I have this thing about me where I hate when people feel like I'm very mindful of what I feel like people think of what I think of them. Does that make sense? Like, I don't like it when people think that I'm thinking something negatively of them, and it bugs me so much. And I feel a connection with that experience.
mm. It feels maybe like there's another experience that this part of you would like to show you. Would you be open to exploring that?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and ask that. Think that part of yourself first of all, but then ask it if there's anything else that contributed to these beliefs and these feelings.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. Should I share?
It's up to you if you feel comfortable.
So I had this friend when I was in kindergarten. Um, she So I guess she had um, something like she had an issue with her brain. Her brain wasn't working. It wasn't functioning well, and um, I guess you could say like motor skills, like how she walked and stuff. It wasn't, it wasn't working correctly. And I made fun of her on the playground. And then the teacher came up to me and she gave me I don't really remember what it was, like a yellow flag or something, something to tell me I'm in trouble. And yeah, and I was doing that so I could like make friends with these kids. They were like bullies, but like for some reason I wanted to be friends with them. And I felt like the only way to like get in their good graces was to be mean. And then
Mm-hmm.
so I was mean. And yeah, and I got in trouble for it and I felt terrible. Like why would I do that? Why would I make fun of my friend just to try to make new friends?
Mm. I'm sensing a pattern here, and I'm inviting you to explore it. There's something in between these two experiences that maybe little Jacob wanted. There's something that he wanted to experience, something he wanted to have, and what would you think that is?
Acceptance.
Mm. Yeah.
Acceptance.
Hmm. Yeah, that's the exact word I got. So just take a deep breath and thank this part of yourself. And I'd like you to invite little Jacob to join you in your current reality. And this is weird because I normally don't do this, but this is what I'm feeling guided to share with you. Invite little Jacob into your room with you right now. Tell me when you feel he's there.
He's there.
And I want you to play a little video clip for him. Show him, tell him your current age, tell him what you do, what you're aspiring to do, show him all your new amazing friends, show him everything right now, and you can do that silently and just tell me how he reacts.
He's relieved.
Mhm.
He's so relieved.
Mhm. And now I'd like you to go back to that playground as little Jacob and let him take you to that place, these experiences. And I'd like you, from this space of who you are now at your current age, to send him that love and that acceptance, telling him that he's seen, he's heard, he's good enough, whatever you need to say to him, whatever energies you would like to impart on him in this place. And I'd invite you to feel into your body now. Just do a quick scan of your energy and feel where these negative energies and emotions are residing of I'm not good enough, I can't figure it out, it's easy to give up, there's no need to move forward. Where do you feel that in your body?
My throat.
I invite you to put two hands around your throat. And just see cosmic golden light energy coming down from above, coming down, channeling through the top of your head, through your heart, out your hands, into your throat. Feeling that love, that support and acceptance of the Divine Father. And I'd like you to feel from Mother Earth sending her vibes up, from the core of the earth, up your feet, up your legs, into your heart, through your hands, into your throat, feeling that love and acceptance from Mother. How does your throat feel now?
Good.
You sound a little giggly.
uh, yeah. Mm.
Yeah, go ahead and thank little Jacob. Thank yourself for this work you've done today. Knowing that you are good enough and you don't need to figure it all out, and you can explore anything and anywhere you want. How you feeling?
Good. Feeling really good. I feel at peace.
Mm,
Like yeah. Yeah, that sweet spot, that's who I am.
I love that. Just give me chills. Just give me chills right when you said that. That sweet, sweet
Ooh.
spot. Ooh, I love that. Love that. Yeah, it just makes me think, we're always in the sweet spot. I feel like you know this and it goes without saying, but just for these listeners that are listening that maybe feeling that they're not where they want to be, and this has been my biggest lesson in these past couple months, and surrendering to this has been so magical, and just realizing that we're exactly where the fuck we need to be. And sometimes life will literally pull you to a halt and stop everything from flowing to you until you get in touch with these feelings and until you're ready to surrender. So I'm proud of you for surrendering today and getting help and doing the work because you did all the heavy lifting.
Max, thank you so much.
Pleasure. Awesome. Well, I'd invite you to share any last words you'd like with our listeners or with me. Anything you're feeling inspired to share.
Grace, grace, grace. Grace is always right there. It's in your pain, it's in your frustrations, it's in your resistance. It's just pulling you against the grain of what you're trying to do or be that's not in alignment with the truth. And we're loved, especially in our sorrows, especially.
I love that. Oh my gosh. I'm just remembering that quote you read yesterday. Would you be open to sharing that with our listeners?
Oh yeah, sure.
Dude, that was so beautiful.
All right, here we go. The garden. All right. Here we go. Oh, that's perfect. You
Right?
have everything. Oh, you have everything you've ever asked for. You have everything that you desire. You already have, or you already have everything that you've ever wanted out of this life. That career, that relationship, that goal, that opportunity, that support. Sometimes when these things come into our lives, they begin really small, like a seed. You may have the support of one person, but it is still support. You may have a lot more weight that you wish to lose, but you're still on the path. You may be working out of your garage at the moment, but you still have that career. You may have a lot of acquaintances, but you still have that relationship in the making at all times. You may only have your friends who know your talent, but you still have that audience. Anytime we desire something, one of these seeds gets planted. If you break it down and take a look at it from a more slightly detailed perspective, you can see that you already have everything you've ever wanted. It's pretty obvious. They're all just seeds. So it makes little sense to do anything but enjoy creating. It makes little sense to do anything but express gratitude. It makes little sense because you already have what you desire, always. Your simple work is to get into the spirit. To do this properly, you must choose your life exactly as it is. Exactly as it is. That isn't easy at first, but it's the most fun and exhilarating choice to make. To choose your place and have it be the right choice all along. You have all that you've asked for already, and you're all you've got to work with. So it's a choice. Fear or love, expansion or contraction, yes or no. What I'm really trying to ask is, what aspects of this picture would you like to expand upon? Remember your garden.
Beautiful, brother.
Man, that was such a trip that we were just talking about that yesterday.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you. I didn't know you were working on a book. So everyone listening, watch out. Jacob Reese,
Yeah.
author, speaker, enlightenment
Yeah.
coach. Watch out.
Ooh.
Awesome. If that's cool with you, I would love to title this episode, You Already Have What You Desire. I love that.
Yes. Beautiful.
Ah, Jinx, you owe me a soda. No.
Oh man,
All right.
'cause that's been like the theme of my life is like you already have what you desire, and I've had these moments of peace, these moments of gratitude, these moments of like absolute abundance, but they were only just moments, and I felt like I really had it down until right now. I feel like it's not that I have it down; it is. So, thank you so much.
You're welcome, brother. Alrighty, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I really appreciate those of you who have been following this podcast for a while. I'm actually going to start accepting applications to do some live coaching for the month of August. So if you're interested, definitely reach out to me. Submit your application, and I'll let you know what you can do to get on here. But Jacob, thank you so much for being here, brother. And
Thank you very
yeah,
much. Pleasure to be here.
of course. All right, everyone. I'll see you next time.